everyone, it's James Carpenter with Country Living. As you can see, I'm fixing breakfast. It's Sunday morning, got up early, 5 o'clock. Started the potatoes and the sausage links. I'm going to fix myself an omelet for breakfast. Then I'm going to edit a video, and then I'm going to go out in the yard and do more work. There's some coffee. And there's the omelet. And obviously the fried potatoes and that. Keep going here. There it is, about finished. And here it is on the plate, ready for consumption. Alright. So now that we got breakfast out of the way, let's show you what we've been up to the last couple days. I want to talk about this sidewalk. This sidewalk, all the topsoil was removed and that slag material was put down. So that's probably roughly 6 inches thick. And it works out great because it allows me to walk from my place to the other garage and not get my feet wet when there's been a lot of rain. Over there on the right, you see that big tree that we took down last year. We're going to talk a little bit about that. There was a big pile of split wood that we had split from the process of taking the tree down, and it was over on the right of the building there where that other little shagbark hickory or whatever that is. Right in that area there, there's a before shot coming up right about now. You can see the pile of wood stacked up there. We moved the pile of wood, loaded it up on a trailer. We'll show some of that later in the video. And then I took the bucket and I scraped everything up and I burned for a couple days, and this is what's left. It's still smoldering just a little bit. But I'm going to finish that project up and sow some grass seed in the spring and make that a nice mowable area. Now the old tree unfortunately started to die, and I was afraid it was going to fall on the building someday. So we decided to take it down, and obviously we got most of it down. The rest of it's going to come down this fall. See that little peg sticking out on the right of the base of the tree? That was the property line stake, and it grew into the tree. So that's a little unique in itself. I looked at it close. I don't know if it's an axle out of an old cart or something from back in the day. Now on the left you see a cornfield. That's my neighbors. It's what we call country living. They live pretty close, and there's a lot of them. Right here we got the children's play area. It hadn't been mulched in a couple of years, and it was starting to get overgrown with crabgrass. So since I had a tiller out doing the garden, I went in and I tilled all that crabgrass up and tilled that mulch up. And that's another project down the road. I'll remulch this whole entire area. Now that pile there that looks like a grassy knoll, that is the dirt from the sidewalk. I'll probably use some of that topsoil to cover up that spot. Look at the size of the clumps of the dirt. This is from a previous video, but I wanted to illustrate what I did. I took the bucket of the tractor and I tilted it down, and I just kept punching those big hunks of dirt, breaking them up into smaller pieces. Just make it easier for when I put the mulch on there that there's no dirt sticking up through the mulch. So that will get covered with mulch. You can see those lines in there. That's from the bucket. So that was one of the little projects we did the last couple of days, including the cleanup over there by the wood pile. And as we go down the driveway, the tree trimmer guys brought me another load of mulch, and I added that to the driveway. Today, after I get done with the video, I'll get the rake out, and I'm going to go down and I'm going to rake all these humped up piles down level so they look a little more presentable. That's just one project I got going today. I'm sure I'll get into something else besides that. I should be able to do all that in about 40 minutes or so. Now we're coming up on an area where it's already been raked out and leveled. And so that's what it looks like after it's raked. That poor little tree there looks hurt, but it was kind of like a, not a free tree, but near free, because it had pre-existing conditions. So I took it under my wing and planted it, and we'll nurture it along. Now notice the manure pile that you've seen in other videos, and there'll be a little, and down in the corner there'll be a shot of it here in a minute. We took the horse manure, or I did, and I used the bucket, and I spread it all over the garden, as well as the manure that was already in the garden. Just evenly distributed it across the garden, and then took the tiller, the 5-foot tiller behind the Kubota tractor, and tilled what was left of the garden under. And between the horse manure and the leftover material from the garden, it composts down over the winter, and then obviously I'll till it again in the spring, and I'm anticipating some really nice crops with all that manure. Now to the left of the garden, that green, the green grass there, that's brand new grass. It looks a little thin, but right after I planted it, we had a heavy rain, and it washed a lot of the seed out. But obviously I can reseed that in the spring, as long as we don't get too much rain and wash it out again. But it will spread naturally, especially with aeration. Now that area there was under construction, and that's all been planted. I went in with starter fertilizer and spread that the other day because they were calling for some rain, but it didn't come. We haven't had rain in a couple weeks now. Down in the bottom right hand corner you can see where I got the area prepped for the seed. Alright, what we have here is my 1988 Chevy truck. Now, I know it's not a beautiful paint job, but it was definitely cheap. We went to TSC, got some Kubota orange paint, and we used a roller and rolled it. Came out decent enough for an old truck. This is some of the wood that we moved from that area I showed you earlier in the video. Hand loaded all that, brought it up. The trailer's full. I'm contemplating just leaving it on the trailer and tarping it and working off the trailer this winter as I burn, or I may stack it. I haven't really decided yet. It all depends on whether or not I think I'm going to need the trailer. The first load, there was actually 2 loads. The first load is coming up. It's up there beside the little garage port. The first load we stacked, the second load we left on the trailer. And coming up soon you're going to see some melons, and then the video is going to end. Those melons came from the garden. I do want to thank everybody for watching my videos. Have a great day. James Carpenter with Country Living.